Thank you for joining this session, the third in this CBG conference of this IEW 2026. Thank you for coming to this, and for those of you who made it to the morning, know the sequencing of this conference. For those who missed it, we have had a couple of sessions on discussing policies, as well as what we need to be doing to have larger adoption of FOM. This third session now tackles the third leg of this part, which has got to do with technology and innovation, which we believe will be fundamental in making sure that the broader business case associated with CBG becomes positive. The end goal of these three sessions put together is to actually help the government think through whatever is the next version of the CBG policy. And so, in some ways, as Mr. Kanuja mentioned this morning, this is about listening. This is actually taking inputs, more than just looking at it as presentations. And since we look at inputs and this as a consultation, I would strongly encourage all of you who are sort of sitting, I guess, the traditional backbencher to sort of move forward. We'll be passing around the mic for anyone who wishes to intervene and make comments or give inputs on that. So all of you who have the desire and wish to be speaking, I strongly encourage you to come forward. This is a massive room, and I think this merits a much more intimate conversation around this topic. So whoever is there, please come up. The second is, let me quickly invite all, the people who are on the panel and who will be more of the discussants today onto the stage. Mr. Anil Kumar, Rajneesh Trivedi. First of all, let me invite Additional Secretary Mr. Kanuja to come onto the stage. And then if we could have Anil Kumar, Rajneesh Trivedi, Professor Amit Kumar, Mr. Harshit Agarwal, and Vijay Nirani. Thank you, everyone. And while we have the panelists who have, I'm positive, a very strong point of view on the different matters, and we'll throw it open to them, we really strongly look at you to contribute and intervene as well. I don't want to take up too much time. As we all know, there's a huge impetus and push to make CBG a very, very integral part of our energy fuel and mix, and not just the energy fuel and mix, as we discussed. There's byproducts that can become a part of the larger economic landscape of India as well. But we're obviously, there's a policy out, but there's things that can be done better. And this is a way of us trying to take inputs on that matter. This is focused on innovation and technology. Having said that, there's some of you who didn't get the opportunity to speak this morning. If you feel strongly about it, please do give your inputs on certain other matters as well. We were completely comfortable with that. Before we get on to the panel discussion, we have two presentations that we are going to be doing. I request the presenters to be as brief as possible on around the topics of technology and innovation. We are available to you post this session to collect any other additional inputs, so just so that we can get the thematic out and let people know exactly what we're talking about. May I call upon Dr. Dubash to make the first presentation? Sorry, Dr. Subash. My apologies.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for giving the opportunity. So as the topic is advanced technologies and innovation for mainly the commercial scale biogas plants. See, as you all, if you know that this sector is flourishing now, and we really require new technical or the technologies to be infused with these our projects. Then only the projects will really definitely it will generate the gas, as well as the scale of economics will be there. Actually, we mainly focus on our company, the low carbon fuels, especially bio-CNG at present. Yeah, so I just directly come to the point. So what are the main problems at present in India as per our case studies, and how we can able to come up with the new technologies or the innovations so that the project can generate the required gas. And I want to happily tell you that probably we are the only company generated the gas higher than the design capacity. So on continuous basis, maybe more than 20 TPD gas on continuous basis in Hoshiarpur. It is one of the Reliance projects. Yeah, so I'll just come to the main problem now. See, if you go to any projects, especially the biomass based, there should be a pre-treatment technology. But here, as per our survey, normally people use a normal hammer mill or something to just do the pre-treatment, they shed it and feed it. But it will not work because you have to pre-treat your the material that is which has a very high lignocellulosic content. And then if you go to even the another way, that is the MSW. The MSW should not be handled like how it has been handling now. So normally you have to go for a technology where you have to feed, it may be a mixed phase, just feed it to the system. The system has to take care. And you need not to do any manual segregation or anything. So that is what actual technology is required. So that we are already showcased. You can visit our one of the project. And similarly, the digester technology in India, that is the most advanced technology at present is required. You can say whatever the digester at present in India, what I saw is mainly a single state digesters. You need to have at least a multi-state digesters with the CSTR technology at least, then really there will be a what you call probability that you will generate the more gas. So similarly, the agitation technology at present is in India is more than like 200 RPM agitators. Actually, you need to go for laminar agitators, so your production will be more, and then it will help you and it will aid you the process. And similarly, the digester heating systems, like if you go to the parameters like all other things, so you need to come up with this new innovation, new technology, so that you will be in the position to go for the new technologies. And one of the best example at what the initially I said, we have already showcased this kind of technology, and we have produced the gas which is higher than the design. And the major challenge, as I said, actually all the projects, major projects, what we come across is having maybe a no gas or a little gas production. And there is a fundamental design issues in the pre-treatment. That is a major issue. There we have to focus more in the pre-treatment technologies. And you can say the robust system, which is a need of the hour. So if you have the system which can last, see for example, when we are running our compressors now at present, see we are running more than 20 hours in a day. Initially, you can say the projects where 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours it was running. Even the compressors manufacturers has the issue now when we are running more than 20 hours. So the innovation is required in every part. And you can say any project, if you go, the digester system is the heart of the system, where you need to have the parameters, and it should be all automated parameters you have to go. Then only it is possible for you to minimize the manual intervention, and then you can go for the higher production. Like all these parameters, like right from your pH, CN ratio, and as I said, the OLR rating, HRT, all these things needs to be taken care. And it has to be, you can say, in automated form, not in the manual form.
Dr. Subhash, AS had a question for you very quickly.
Dr. Subhash, good afternoon. I wanted to know the basic contours of your plant, and what is the feedstock, what is the capacity, where is it located, where are you selling, what kind of CBG, what are you selling, whom are you selling to, where is your FOM, LFM going, are you getting your MDA? So I think technology, obviously you have given the details on the first slide also. If you can just add for a minute, and then we'll be able to appreciate the technological aspects also.
Yes, sir. Yeah. See, actually, our company mainly focuses on the production of, you can say, the CBG plant technology plus the development of projects. We have done a projects based on the MSW, and then based on paddy straw, even the mixed feed like paddy straw with the all other biomass waste. So you can say, as I said, we are the only plant at present, I can say proudly, that we have showcased the gas production which is higher than the design capacity on continuous basis. So here the main crux here is the pre-treatment. Whatever the plants you go, either it may be biomass based or it may be any of the other things, but here you have to go for a pre-treatment where it is the, you can say, the only part where it converts the undigestible material into digestible material. That means, say for example, if you go to the plant which is having the more cellulosic content, that you have to digest it. For that, you have to first convert that lignocellulosic into simple sugars. So that is important. So these kind of, you can say, the project, like you can see here, this is one of our plant. You can say inspired by the European concepts. So this is the one plant what we have done for Reliance Industries. We are doing around 14 to 15 projects for Reliance Industries, all 20 TPD output CBG plants. So the design is such a way that you feed the feedstock to the system, then from there it will take care of that.
Yeah. So what are the stages of construction? Are they all commissioned?
Yes, sir, it is a commission plant,
So
it's running.
20 plants or 15, 20 plants of 20 TPD each.
Yes, sir.
And where is the gas being evacuated?
Sir, actually, in Reliance case, they are going for geo pumps where they have that thing, and remaining they are going for gas grid injection systems. For example, in Denkanal, they are going for with I think BPCL, where in Ankul to Denkanal pipeline, they are going for injection into a pipeline. So different projects, they are going. Some places they are going for LCVs to deliver into the pumps.
I think we'll need this data because we add 20 plants to our database. So we'll take the data separately. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Do-
Yeah, it's from Mrs. Subhyaj. Yeah.
Can we just, if you,
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Let me give you some clearly some small points into it. So basically, the ecosystem what we are developing as far as CBG evacuation is concerned, our CBG GOBP owned retail outlets, which is going around 30 to 40% on an average for each and every plant. Balance 60% is going to the CBG CGD synchronization scheme, where we are getting all the supports from the all CGD players across country. Currently, we are planning for around 55 numbers of planning. Around 21 plants has been already commissioned, and average CBG production is around 220 TPD. So we are quite hopeful for the coming 6 months, we will be giving a good kind of a CBG production in India. So as per the second question, what we have asked that whether the FOM and LFOM, what is the status? Yes, today we are supplying the molecules to the farmer free of cost, and keeping in a view of that the MDA in the current level, and there are various challenges what has been already discussed in the first half, and we are looking forward for our MDA enhancement for FOM and LFOM very soon. There are a couple of other challenges what can be done and discussed separately. Thank you.
Dr. Subhash, is it possible for you to wrap up so we can have
Yes, that's
Gaurav also give
thank
a
you.
little-
So this is a plant where we have showcased, and even Reliance has given the gold trophy to us. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. Subhash.
Thank you.
Gaurav, can I have you come and take the mic?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So I will take exactly 3 minutes and 3 messages I want to give. So can I have the presentation, please? So before the presentation is up, so normally in biogas field, especially from the technology perspective, we talk a lot about the German biogas plant. And there is a success story. Indian Biogas Association has got a tie-up with German Biogas Association. So normally when you talk about innovation, by default we think about the technical innovation, but all the time we should consider technical, financial and social. So when you talk about German plant again, so many times we have said this, again I am repeating, that technically fine. So whatever we can do, we should do. We'll come to the slide and perhaps I will talk about it. But in Germany, if you see, most of these plants are owned by the farmers, and these farmers, they stay over there. The plant owner, in other words, they are there at the plant and taking care of the plant. And here in India, in most of the cases, we want to run the plant by remote control. So think about it. I'm not saying that we should do this or we should do that, but while copying anything, we should keep the whole scenario in mind, or I mean, elephant as a whole we should consider. That is point number 1 from my side. Second, from the technical side, we, instead of jumping to the conclusion and talking about any technology or anything, I think we should ask the right question to us as far as the plants are concerned. So we have listed down few of the questions, we'll show it to you, but it's very important because if we go to Europe, they don't have so-called, this paddy straw as such. If you go to Europe, the segregation system or MSW is very different than what we have over here. So we need to be very, very clear from this question's perspective. Let's be very particular. I don't know if somehow. Okay. So we need to be very particular as far as the questions are concerned. Somehow I'm not able to operate it here. Maybe next slide if you can change it. Yeah. So right from the pre-treatment to the digestion part to the upgradation part, and then further on when you talk about the downstream side, it's very important that we understand the intricacies and ask the right question. And again, I'm not giving you the solution over here. I'm just trying to throw light on the right question. For example, we all talk about the fermented organic manure. Of course, we can keep supplying, but it's a demand-driven thing. I repeat, it's a demand-driven thing as far as the fermented organic manure is concerned. If in market there is a demand of PROM, I would like to go for the PROM in that very local market. I come to the next slide. I think a lot has been talked in the previous as well. Subhash talked about the technology, etc. So I'm not going into it, but at each and every stage, we need to see what are the right steps, if there are losses, why there are losses, what can we do. And again, I'm talking about the right questions again and again. Fertilizer is very interesting, and Dr. Shukla, our president, when he was in MNRE, he coined the word biogas fertilizer plant, and this is what we also believe in. I think this is where we need to come together and try to make sure that biogas plant as a whole becomes profitable. Well, I will skip this. Now third minute is running. So one of the third message, in fact, is that still we need more push as far as the biogas sector is concerned. In management, you talk about this push-pull concept. I personally teach in IIM Ahmedabad as well. So we need a lot of push. So here is one of the analysis where we try to study the cost factor. This is almost on the maximum side. Depending on feedstock, depending on a lot of things, still interest, etc. have not been, they have not been considered in this. But even at high level, if we see, we say that between 40 to 70 rupees, anything can happen. So let's talk about this 70 rupees right now. Still, we need this viability gap funding, especially to streamline the sector so that the pull factor, which will come ultimately from the market side, that we can see. So to conclude, of course, biogas is a local phenomena. I would rather say hyper-local phenomena, especially from the feedstock perspective and from fermented organic manure perspective. Keep that in mind. And the social part, you have to really consider that whenever you talk about this sector. And last but not the least, this viability gap, which we need to look into. With this, thanks a lot. I think my 3 minutes are over.
Let me quickly throw this open to the panel. Thanks for actually setting the stage, both Dr. Subhash and Gaurav. This session is a little bit about innovation and technology. And so there's one part about technology, but the other part is also about innovation. I want to throw it open to the panelists, and maybe Anilji will start with you. First of all, for BPCL, why is this relevant, important, and what is it that you're doing in terms of technology and innovation that can help?
Yeah, it's a bit of echo. So BPCL, CBG, it's obvious. We are into CGD segment. We have 52 CGD CGDs. So which is almost, we are the second largest CGD company. So a lot of blending obligation, which is something like 30 plants which we need to do. But what is not so obvious is that BPCL's largest net zero mitigation measure is CBG. Almost 30% of our mitigation has to come from CBG plants, which means around 300, 400. Strategically, what we are doing is that a 50-50% approach, 50% own investment and 50% through JV companies. That is what we are adopting. And to the specific question, what is that we are doing on innovation and what we are looking at? See, as Subhash said, it's a complicated process. See, actually CBG is nothing but a living biological ecosystem. It's not a plant, it's more of a biochemistry thing. So it has got 4 processes. To be very short, hydrolysis, you need pH 5 to 6. And at the end, methanogenesis, you need pH 7 to 8. So which means that, I mean, these are the places where the organic material actually grows well. So you're seeing that you are in a different, the requirements are different for different processes, which is happening in one kettle. We are right now working with one startup where it is actually split. The 4 processes are split into 2. The first, hydrolysis and acidogenesis in one vessel, and the balance 3 in 3 separate vessels. At lab scale, we are seeing good results. We are working with them. If that technology can, in fact, do wonders. Apart from that also, the other factor what we've started talking to us, to try to, like even though we have pipeline connection schemes coming up, but there are still plants which are coming up very, very remote to pipelines where connectivity is not an issue, not very feasible. So there, liquefaction is an option. So liquefaction is very, very energy intensive. Minus 162 is very, very energy intensive. So we're looking at, from the biogas, liquefaction, can we separate the H2S, CO2, as well as liquefy this, so that there is a relative better economy. These are few areas which we really find challenging. There are many things I think has been spoken about. This is a focus of BPG. We are very serious on CBG. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Rajneeshji, anything that you see in terms of the innovations and technology development in digesters that is going to help the industry?
No, sure. So, look, one of my message here is that we've been already operating 2 MSW plants in the country. We are already treating around about 425 tons of municipal solid waste across 2 plants in Goa. One of the plants has been running successfully for the last 9 years. Now, I think while there has been a lot of discussion about technology, where is the technology, we need to adopt technology, I certain times ask myself that are we really looking for technology? Or technology is a myopia or a mirage we are chasing? If you ask me, technology already exists in India. Technology is already there in India. I think if you ask me personally, my view would be, it's not about finding technology. It's the question is that are we willing to adopt technology? Honestly, that's what my assessment is, that after handling one plant for 9 years, where it has worked continuously 365 days, even during COVID, if a plant like this can be run, why not other plants can do the same thing? And now when I'm talking about my plant, it's not about me. It's about replicating similar plants across the country. Look, we are at a juncture where this sector can go miles. We are already looking at around about 50 BCM of global biogas and biomethane production. Unfortunately, 80% of that, or majority of that, can be done in economies like India and China. We are at a cusp where we can translate this industry into a mega powerhouse. In India alone, if you see the biomethanization potential or the biogas potential which is there, is equivalent to 160% of my natural gas requirements, which basically means that today, if this entire house is put in order with respect to CBG, we can meet all our natural gas requirements out of the country.
I think that's, if I may just interrupt, I think that's the objective of the government as well. The potential is well understood. There's a lot of points that are being made that there's a lot of support that the government can give. This was a little bit about saying, okay, is there some technology levers that need to come in the picture as well, and do we need support from the government on that as well? We'll come back to you. Maybe Professor Amit Kumar, anything that you've seen globally that's different, innovative, where technology is playing a key role, and then what can the Indian government do as well?
Yeah. For me, I think the key aspect is that we talk about the conversion and the technology is here. But I agree with the previous speaker in terms of the technology is there. It will improve and continuously improve. The way we should look at this is in terms of, any biogas production or, compressed biogas production. The key component of what is the cost of producing it, the front end in terms of the collection, then you have the conversion, and then you have the utilization. the whole chain needs to be looked into perspective. We talk about conversion technologies here. What about the collection technology itself? I mean, this is a typically water-based technology that we do. Can we do these feedstock transportation through a long-scale pipeline in form of slurries, which will reduce dollar per ton per kilometer cost? Some kind of innovation in terms of the front end. It is also in terms of the end, I would say, so technology conversion, we talked about it, but also at the end when you are producing CO2, can we take out that CO2? Can that be a CDR technology, which will give you some incentives in terms of carbon dioxide removal? So the whole chain perspective is critical in terms of making this go forward.
So, I really hear you. So I think what you're pointing out is let's not focus just on the conversion. See, at the end of the day, I want to lay this stage a little bit, let me tighter. At the end of the day, we're saying there's a viability gap funding required. Really, the way to incentivize industry from the government side as well is to make sure that there's going to be continuous improvement, because money is not unlimited. And the question here is, what role does industry see in terms of what role can technology play, and what innovation can you do eventually to bring the gap down as well? Because otherwise, there's really no incentive. Vijay, you have more on-the-ground experience. Any thoughts on that?
Thank you so much, and thank you for having us here. We run one CBG plant in Karnataka, and we're setting up 4 more. It's in advanced stage, which will be commissioned maybe in the next 3 months. We'll have 90 tons of gas being generated. I think my whole effort in the next 1 minute is to convince the oil marketing companies, also the government, that what you have done is phenomenal. The policies that you have laid out is very good. We only have to make the right use of it. I'll give you my case, for example. The only mistake that we are doing is we're trying to generalize the whole CBG story. We're trying to put paddy straw, Napier grass, MSW, press mud, spent wash, and we're trying to give a business case that's common for all. Ethanol was a very big success because ethanol, there was a differentiation. There was molasses, there was syrup, in molasses there were 2 kinds. Only because of that differentiation, ethanol was a disruptor. We achieved a 10-year goal and 5-year goals. In the same thing, when I consume press mud or when I consume spent wash, I have got 3 products to sell. Adding CO2, I've got 4 products to sell. So that gives me 4 revenues, sources of revenue. Whereas if I do it from paddy straw, I only have 1 source of revenue. And my capex on paddy straw is much higher. So if we understand the unit economics of the business, it is very, very simple. So I echo with what everybody said. There is no technology involved in this. This is basic 10th standard science, if you ask me. It's digestion, it's purification. The only point is, if we try and understand unit economics, LFOM, there's a phenomenal subsidy already given by the government. There is a DPI scheme that is given. There's a CBG, CGD synchronization scheme given. There is a aggregation subsidy given already. We genuinely have everything that we require. We have to simply put all the right levers in the right place and start operating.
Thanks, Vijay. I think that's quite refreshing to hear. You're saying all the heads are covered. We now need to make sure that there's a differentiated treatment along different levels. Harshit, any thoughts from your side? What do you see across the board from your vantage perspective? What's going on in the world that we can learn from as well?
Thank you. So I'm Harshit Agarwal. I'm Senior Gas Specialist at the World Bank, and we have been partnering with the ministry from the early on and providing technical and financial support, initial grant funding to see how we could support the very unique policy, as my previous speakers have said. I can't agree more. This is CBG's story, in terms of potential, everybody has known. But in terms of it's also India for the world, I can see that, right? Because it's a very unique opportunity which India has. It's a sustainable gas story, taking India from 6% to 15% of gas, so it'll add on to that. Without adding a lot more, I do see globally it's like, we are always asked, even when we are working in India, what are the lessons from the world to see in India? And there could be many, but I would say that probably the CBG story would be the India for the world. So people say, okay, what was done in India? I could talk more about financial innovations, which other colleagues have talked about. I agree with the panelists before, very well said. We have all the key levers on technology around us. It's about this implementation, it's about these unlocking, these policy behaviors which have been very good, and how do we kind of leverage those to unlock those. And I have some thoughts on financial aspects which I can share, because I do see that there are unlocking to be done on that end. But otherwise, technology, implementation, the partners from OMCs, all of that is really a good story for the world, really.
Fantastic. I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to get the audience involved very quickly, and I'll make it quick. So is there any thoughts, questions, comments from anyone in the audience? And I'm getting nasty signals, if I would call them that, but let's get it.
Yeah, I'm having the data from the portal, and out of 113 plant running, having capacity of 784 ton, production is only 195 ton. I found the region. What is the region? I got the region of 79 regions of the 79 plant, 18 plant because of the feedstock issue, 23 plant because of maintenance and technology issue, and then ramp up is 24. So I'm combining this under ramp up and technology almost 50%. And every day I'm listening prime entrepreneur brothers, they are coming to me and they are asking that which technology I should adopt. So I want to ask the panelists, they are able to recommend some entrepreneur that if you want to go for the PET straw, please copy this technology. If you want to go for the press mud, please copy this. If you want to go for the MSW, please copy this.
It's a good point, a good provocative point where we really need to find out all that. Any other thoughts, comments?
Thank you. During the afternoon session, we were discussing, and I was raising the same point, sir, that in this industry, we don't have technological standards or monitoring that whatsoever plant is running and operational as on date, what was the design capacity, what is the operational status as on date, and what all were the challenges during the ramping up of the capacity. So whatever learning, my dear friends sitting here, Vijay has shared something, Rajneesh has shared about MSW, those learnings we all need to adopt and to see that we don't repeat all those troubles or rediscover the wheel. Thank you.
I'm going to take one more comment. We had a hand up earlier, so.
No, I'm just extending that point what my friend has said there. We should have some certification of these digester or the equipments that this kind of capacity require this kind of digester, and there has to be a certificate that this much yield has to be there. Then only we will be able to have economically viable plants.
Thank you, Mr. We'll just close it with the last comments from.
Few comments. I think the afternoon sessions, I would say there was some kind of pessimism. But this session, I'm very optimistic, and everyone said that all the panelists, that the technology exists. But then the benchmarking is not there, standards are not there. I think ministry with these stakeholders will get into this also. Secondly, someone mentioned about ethanol ecosystem, which actually we have now reached 20%, that is ethanol, but blending in petrol. But that is actually 1G. With lots of energy density for that 1G. 2G ethanol and CBG, I think the pre-treatment, and one goes into fermentation towards ethanol, the other is digestion towards the gas. In some of the plants which we have supported through PMG1, the pre-treatment is an issue, but I was amazed to see that in case of CBG, we have already succeeded in doing that. So maybe there has to be an interface between the 2G plants or the operators of these 2G plants and the entrepreneurs and the CBG entrepreneurs, because I think they've already got over those problems of pre-treatment. Then I think we go ahead with this. The technology benchmarking is the only thing I got from this. And the things are optimistic. Technology does exist, and we'll be the leaders across the world once we have these standards and benchmark. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kanuja. So on that note, with the optimism that the technology does exist, but as a former technologist, I always want to leave a message that says we can always do better. So I leave that to all the private entrepreneurs. Thank you, Mr. Kanuja, and thank you to the panelists for your opinions. I know we've run over time, but if there's any other thoughts and comments, happy to stay over after this outside and collect your inputs. Thank you so much.